Hi, and welcome to Kigu Talk. This is our very, very first episode, as you can tell. Um, we're exploring, growing, learning. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk shop, do a content warning, and then we're gonna jump into it. So Kiku Talk is not responsible for any hot takes, spicy heartburn, or anything that you get from listening to this podcast. Um, we also use some language, maybe like dark jokes, so viewer discretion is advised. This is kind of our goofy thing because when we start talking about the
The deep topic.
real deep stuff, we will actually have a real serious content warning because especially when we start talking about the whole racism and body shaming, things that may trigger people. We will definitely have a content warning for that. Our lovely layout was done by SC Rogue. Um, S as in Sam, C as in cat, underscore Rogue on Twitter. So he did our layout for us, the little animal ears. And in the corner is our struggle cup. I made that. Struggling. um, and we are trying out captions on the stream. I'm hoping that it is working. I actually do not know how to get them to work because I am on uh, iPad and not the desktop website. So please let me know. It does use Google text to speech. And see, I can see it in the caption preview in OBS that it is working, but I don't know if it's working on Twitch. Um, if
Working.
anybody can.
I,
Oh, they are working! Yay! Oh
I
my God!
just
Look,
checked. I have
Mhm.
it in
yo,
tab
that
open.
boiled my brain. Let me tell you that boiled my brain like in a half trying to get that thing to work. Like it just would not.
Mhm.
So I am not sure if it's me that it's picking up. So I'm gonna be quiet, let somebody else speak, and see if they pick up.
You may. And yeah, that was the link that you shared with Babu. So thanks for that. um so
Oh
should
no,
we get
it's not picking. Okay, so I'm gonna
Oh
adjust
yes.
that. Do some growing pains because bear with us, guys. Because I don't know if it's just picking up my mic. I think I need to adjust what input it's picking up and pulling the audio from. So if it's not picking up Pre and Babu, we're gonna work on that.
If you guys see me turning around frequently, it's because Mercy is just scratching at my cosplay door.
Her cat is like, "Let me in, let
Well, no,
me
she
you
will
guys
go to
get
the closet and
some
just scratch at it for no reason. Like there's nothing in there. My costumes are in there, and she knows that there's nothing in there.
in." You sure there's nothing in there? Could be a
I'm sure that's
demon.
true. My door
I
did open by
mean,
itself with the cat.
what are you hiding
it could,
from us?
it could be a demon. But that is all my housekeeping stuff. We're definitely still working on the captions. As we talk, I may try and tweak them, but if they don't
This
work
is
by
learning
the end of this
for all of us,
episode,
so bear with
we will
us.
definitely have it ready
Hmm.
or another alternative because we're not trying to leave anybody out.
Nope.
Um. So, introductions. Yeah, these things.
Are we keeping this PG-13 or how many F bombs
Nah,
can I?
I already told you. We had the content warning. There will be swearing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not a
Fuck you
family.
both. I will just go ahead and go first. God.
Wow, she's just out
Hi.
there. We're gonna get
I
canceled.
I am canceled. So I am a babushka. I obviously am here on Kiyu Talk. Hello. I've been cosplaying for a long time. I need to say I am used to doing panels, so transitioning to a podcast is going to be pretty easy because I did disability panels for the past couple years. Is my volume okay. I speak kind of
I
quietly, and
No,
I'm
I hear
trying
you
not
pretty
to.
okay. And
Okay.
what I hear
Can
you
you
as
hear
is
me?
the volume that should be, but if not,
Okay.
like
Okay,
we could.
cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I can project more, but I forget to. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Hi, my name's Pri Cup of Pri, and I probably have the least cosplay experience out of three of us. I've been doing it for 2 years. I mainly opt for like bot cosplays and things like that. This is pretty new to me because I've never done panels or anything like that. And like mainly you just see me running on Twitter, and that's kind of like my signature, I guess. Just hot
She
take
getting
so
famous. She
what?
getting Twitter famous.
I wouldn't say that. Let's not get to that point. But yeah, I'm here. I'm here to learn. If there's any newbies in the chat, I'll be learning with you, but I'll also be giving like some of my hot takes that may or may not offend people. but
We got hot takes. I got
Oh, we have
spicy
plenty.
hot takes.
many.
I have
They've
spicy.
already seen that I'm chaotic with my takes, so that's gonna be pretty fun.
I'm trying to behave, but I just can't.
I'm also known for
Okay.
those famous Twitter trends. I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah,
but,
she's the like Twitter twit. Oh god.
Twitter, a Twiddle Twin Twampion.
What?
Twitter Twit Twampion.
Oh no. Help
I just
me.
heard a lot of ooh in that one sentence. It did not.
Help.
Oh, chaotic good right here. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Anyway, Liz can go next before I blow up the entire podcast.
Hi, I'm Lysandra. Some of you guys probably know me from the Cosplay 101 panel that we did with Stardust, Megu. I said Stardew. She's gonna like probably strangle me the next time she sees me. And Rhea, we did a podcast thing. See, she had me crying laughing, so they're like, "Why are you crying?" But we did a panel a couple weeks ago, so some of you guys may know me from that. Other people may know me as the person who did Feul, which is like one of the things that I'm known for. Like it's my icon and everything. I have been doing cosplay for about 5 years. My 5th year anniversary was in October on Halloween. Yay! I still kind of consider myself a beginner, so like don't be all like, oh, Liz knows what she's doing. It's not true. It's not true, and whoever told you that is lying. But I mostly do foam smithing, and I'm trying to get better at sewing, so you know. So I rounded out, so like, you know, Babu's 10 and I'm 5 and we got 2, so we got like a good mix of what's the word? Experience, perspectives. So
Yeah.
we gotta talk a little bit about the podcast because Kigu Talk was actually, so the name Kigu Talk was totally Babu's idea. Like, I'm not even gonna take credit for that. Like, that's her idea. Okay. And
I just wanted a little pajama time.
yeah, and I'm wearing my Kigu. She just hot. But I'm definitely wearing her. She cute. Yep. And I think I like came to you guys like in October. Something like that. It was last month.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you guys, this is how I roped them in. I was like, hey, you want to do a podcast with me? That's how it went. True story. I don't think that's actually how it went. I think I was like, would anybody
you were talking
interested?
about, yeah, you were like seeing if anyone was interested. You didn't ask, right? Like,
yeah, but then you were kind of like, I know I want Babu and I know I want Cup of Free.
Actually, so this is how the conversation really actually did go. Like, so I went and I think I talked to Babu about it first. Like, I went and DM'd her first and I was like, yo, dog, I want to like start a podcast and I like want to get like 2 other people because I don't want to do it by myself. I talk too much. So, and I think I would be really boring by myself. So I like talked to Babu first, and Babu's like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And I was like,
yeah,
yo. So like, I'm not gonna lie, like the people that I picked to do it with, I totally would do it you and Pre. And I was like, let me go ask Pre.
I'm the devil on your shoulder sitting there saying, do it, do
yeah,
it.
she's like,
no
do it.
matter
And
what.
I'm like, man, I don't know. This is me.
I
I
was
was
just
like,
do
man,
it.
I don't know, man. Because I don't think anybody's going to really want to, like, I don't think anybody's really going to want to listen to a podcast about cosplay. And I don't know, because 14 of you are. So, thank you.
Yeah.
We're all here.
So,
so
but I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to listen.
Liz telling me like, oh, I don't know if Pri wants to do it because she's busy with school. I'm like, what's school?
Yeah, well, I didn't. Okay, because I was like, in consideration of you. All right, stop. I was considering you because I was like, well, she's in pharmacy school. That's a lot. Like, she gonna want to like do a podcast.
We're gonna be talking a lot about that, like cosplay and like as a student and as like a full-time like worker and just like things like that. So,
yes.
So,
yes.
It's possible. It's possible to still cosplay even when you're dying inside from other things.
That's how you cosplay anyway. I don't know any other cosplayer. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know any cosplayer that's not dying inside. At least not a little bit right
accurate.
now.
That's fairly accurate.
Because,
actually more right now might be okay because they're not sitting there waiting until 2 weeks before the con, because 2 weeks before the con is in the indefinite future. So they can't stress about it yet.
Yeah, ooh, I don't know. Like, we came up with I came up with this idea and I was like, yo, you want to like talk about spicy hot takes in the cosplay community? And I don't mean like spicy hot takes like, like the shade room or shit like that. Like not, we will probably talk about some things, right?
Like,
but in an objective manner. Like, yeah, like we're not trying to name names because you probably already know.
Or anything like that.
So, but I wanted to talk about the things that bug us the most in the cosplay community. Because I feel like a lot of, like, for a lot of the relatable posts, like, people are like, yeah, I relate to that. I feel this sort of way. And I don't think anybody really talks about it as much.
Like I mentioned, I feel it. But
yeah, they're like, I feel it, but I don't want to, I don't want to talk about it on Twitter because I don't want people to think that, like, I feel jealous or, I'm complaining too much. So we're going to be your outlet in a sense where...
We are your... what do you call it? Focus group. There we go. That's
your focus
group.
I'll
just get canceled instead of you guys. Don't worry.
That's a good idea. There we go. Right? We are your mouthpieces so that
I'm
we can get canceled instead.
I'm going to get canceled instead of you. It's fine. Like, I could,
good luck, Twitter. My mom knows I post nudes online. You can't cancel and dox me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yo, it's wild.
I can't. Yo. No. I gotta get the tissue because I'm dead. Oh my god. But yeah, that's where Kigu talk came from, was just the idea of wanting to talk about it. And I don't know how long this is gonna last, you guys. I don't know. We got like 33 topic ideas.
We'll never run out of content if you're...
We probably will never run out of content.
Yeah. There's always something to talk about.
Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out that Kigu Talk goes on, but we're just gonna get on Zoom and Twitch just to chill.
Yeah, we're just gonna like talk shit.
Yeah.
On Zoom. Yeah. But no, we don't know how long it's gonna last though. You know what I'm saying? But we all hope that you have fun with us.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise. Is we all hope you have fun with us, and we all hope that it makes you feel good inside. Like, God, that girl has the same opinion as me, but I can't say it because I'll get canceled. But she said it, so she will. Yeah.
So, do you want to move into our next topic then? Or do you want... Actually, no, you need to mention the announcement. Normally now we would have an announcement if we have anything cool coming up. Or anything special that we need to announce, like sales.
Oh. Yeah, just wait. Okay. Oh, so Hey, you guys, you do know that, so regardless of how you feel about Black Friday, right, and consumerism, because I mean, that's a whole, like, thing that can be talked about, because depending on what you feel like or whatever, this is the best time of year if you're a beginning cosplayer or just looking for whatever. I know this time of year they tend to have the big drum kits, like the one with, like, the rotary tool, excuse me, the flex shaft, and like all the bits. They usually tend to have that on sale. Come on, body. They usually tend to have it on sale for like, I think it's like $130. I don't know. You gotta look on Amazon, regardless of how you feel about Amazon. But this is a good time to start looking at like foam, because I think TNT Cosplay does like a Black Friday sale. A whole bunch of companies do Black Friday sales. So if you're looking to get something on the cheap because COVID has destroyed our wallets, whether we like to admit it or not, it's a good time to look at getting things on the cheap. And I did talk about it that I have an episode idea for like the Christmas gifts that you can give the favorite cosplayer in your life, and I'm gonna have to do some research because I'm gonna hook y'all up if y'all can't figure out what you're gonna get your favorite cosplayer in your life. It's usually the answer is usually foam, but
Foam
Yes.
yeah, or it's usually foam, but it depends on maybe the person
or
doesn't use
Warbla.
foam. Or
That person.
yeah, or blah. Like I don't know, man. If you gave me like a $90 sheet of Warbler, I would stare at you funny, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't not accept it. You know what I
No, I
mean?
would troll one and get them the extra small piece and then be
Yeah, don't
like,
be rude.
Merry Christmas. I got
Just
this special for you. That would be what I would do for a cosplay. Is it white elephant gift exchanges where you have the set price for the gift? Mine would be an extra small piece of Warbler cosplay
just get the
edition.
sample size of like the
Yeah.
black Warbler, and see, I'd be mad at you, or maybe not, because
You can
I
always
would
use
use
it.
it later.
You
Yeah, I would
can
use it
always
later.
it doesn't matter like how big or small it is, you're gonna find a use for that piece of Warbler. That's the magical thing about it. I wasn't I
So the
wasn't
thing
really
about it
into
is,
it, but
right,
then
is I still have like a $90 like like
I
the
have
full roll downstairs.
yeah,
It's
same.
bad.
I
Can't relate.
can't have too much of it.
Like it's
So
expensive, so don't like don't feel bad. It's if
I
you don't
am
have
gonna
it,
go
it's
ahead and
like
moderate this and ask what got you two into cosplay. I know what
oh
got me into
no,
cosplay. If you
oh
guys
no,
want to
don't
take
do
a
that. It's
second.
a sob
mine,
story. No
mine,
one wants to
mine,
listen to my sob story. No.
mine is kind of like low key traumatic. Who's is like
I'll go. I lived in Washington for a little bit, and my mom took me to it wasn't my first con, but it was my first big con. She took me to Sakura Con. I was about 13 at the time. And just being able to go and see everything, I was like, holy shit, this is my jam. I want to dress up. I want to do all of these things. My mom was going to tackle some man who was not Vic Mignogna because she thought he was Vic Mignogna because I was 13 and we didn't know he was a predator yet. Um, yeah, so I got really excited about cosplay. The first costume I wanted to do was Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew. And because we were
Isn't that
poor
what
as
you're trying to
fuck,
rope everybody into now? Is Tokyo Mew
yeah,
Mew? Like, don't lie.
yeah. No, it comes on the girl circle. We're getting there.
yeah.
She's
Liz,
trying to convert. No, she's trying to convert all of us over. I am steadfast.
I'm already into Tokyo Mew Mew. What are you talking about? I've been into Tokyo Mew Mew since elementary school.
I'm
So
yeah,
steadfast
like
in
I would
my
dress up.
stubbornness.
I went to school. Literally, I would wake up every morning at 7:55, so I would be able to sit there and watch Tokyo Mew Mew because it came on at 8 o'clock in the morning
poor
on
kid.
the West Coast. And so I did that every Saturday morning. I put pink dye in my hair because I wanted to have pink hair. I wore a cat bell to school in middle school. I wanted to be Ichigo. It was gonna fucking
That's so
happen.
fucking adorable. I can't.
But at the time, they didn't have Ichigo costumes available. Like what was popular at the time was Naruto, so you could find a lot of Naruto costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I remember
And
that.
we just were poor as hell. We could not afford it, and we didn't have the ability to make stuff at the time. So my first costume ended up actually being Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts 2. My mom spent her student loan money to get me a costume so that the
So
next
that's
con that I
real
went
love right
to,
there.
That is real.
yeah,
That's real love.
the next con I would have a costume, and it was way too big for me, but my friend's grandma took it in for me, and it was awful. It was too short. It was this weird, imagine like 80s leggings, but thick. It was made out of material like that, which was just super weird. And I had to wear a tank top underneath it just to be able to wear this thing in a way that was not risque. But I was so excited. It was my first costume. And that's what got me into costuming in general, was just my mom taking me to that con and me just being in love with it. And after doing that first costume, the Kyrie costume, I was like, never again. I
Yeah,
would
that's
rather
that's
make
the lies
my
you tell
costume.
yourself. You're like never again, and then
No, I meant never again was I
oh,
going to buy one. I was like, if I'm gonna wear something awful, it's gonna be something that I made and it's
this is
awful.
my train wreck.
This is
Okay,
my trash heap right here.
Like,
this is my
have
train
I?
wreck.
There, I'm gonna find when someone's gonna ask about these photos someday. But there are photos of me in this handmade Princess Peach costume. It was the first costume I ever made, and my crown literally is this tall because I couldn't cut the crown I couldn't cut the crown short because I just made it out of a cardboard container, like cardboard little cylinder that my sister's sperm donor found. It was amazing. It was a train wreck. I used a Cinderella pattern for it. So, yeah. I don't know if either of you guys said anything, but I did not hear anything. But I could talk forever.
No,
What got.
we're listening
We're
to
listening.
Okay.
because like I said, mine is a sob story, and no one wants to hear that. Yay!
That's
Mine
fair.
also, okay.
I can. Well, I can just continue talking if neither of you guys want to talk.
Nah, we should
I can
probably.
actually start talking. So it's not necessarily like me getting into cosplay. It's sad. It's how I got into the community that was sad. So like, the way I found cosplay was I actually found I don't know if anyone remembers like Finding Dreamers Productions on YouTube, but like I used to like rave over Naruto and things like that. I'm not a Naruto fan anymore, but you know, it happened.
Wow, the betrayal.
Um, I mean, I've been a lot of my mutes now, like they all rave about Naruto, and I've been thinking like, maybe I do want to do Hinata. Oh, maybe I do want to do it, but that's that's a whole nother situation, like conversation. But I actually got into cosplay because of Fine Dreamers Productions, and then but me being in an Asian household, my parents were like, "That's too expensive. Why waste your money on that?" So like, I would do it in steps. So like, I didn't get a wig until like high school, and even then, my parents were like, "That's too expensive. Don't waste your money on that." And so like, I didn't really get into full cosplay. Like I went to cons between like I want to say eighth grade until high school, and then I kind of stopped. And then I found a like my university group is typically my go-to for cons, and that was the first time that I actually like went to conventions and things like that and went full cosplay. My first full actual cosplay was Chio Satonaka from Persona 4, and like
Yay! Although I don't
that
like
was
TA,
big.
but
Okay, if any of my friends are in the chat can vouch, they said my wig for TA looked like Coconut Head from Ned's Classified School Survival Guide.
yo, that's savage.
Was,
Like what?
wait,
No.
yeah,
Yo, that's savage.
I will never forget. That's why I cannot cosplay TA like anymore until I
No.
find a
Aw.
way. That
I wish
was
I
We're like
wasn't laughing so hard,
that
but
was the
I
what
can fucking
is the
see it.
cosplay that you won't do anymore.
maybe
Like
it'll be
that's
like the like what April Fool's cosplay. I'll just cosplay as Coconut Head from.
Please do.
oh my
Please
god.
do. I mean, Data always does ridiculous things. Just go ahead
Yo,
and
that Family Feud. Okay.
go.
That Steve Harvey had me like ugly laughing the
I
whole
know.
damn time. I was like, no, she didn't.
That was a big brain moment. I will never have a brain as big as that. I just won't.
And like no, but yeah, like that was like technically my first cosplay. But then around the same time that I got into cosplay, which was 2018, 2 years ago, I was actually graduating from oh god, I forgot the word, undergrad. And so like I was part of a Korean pop dance team, and at the time, like I was having like that senior depression, and like I felt really isolated. So at the same time, like, let me just get into a hobby where I can talk to people online and like get to know them that way. And like that kind of just started it. Like there's other things that like I learned along the way, but that's basically how I got into it. So yeah.
Oh, we're waiting
Your
on me.
cosplay story to be
I'm
Coconut
waiting for
Diaries,
this.
a Chie story.
No. Um, the question was how we like maybe get into cosplay, right?
Yeah, just what got you into
Um,
cosplay.
so I guess like I always saw people like dressing up, and I was like, oh man, I want to totally do that because I've always been a creative person. Um, when I first started, it was me writing. So like I'm that person who's probably writing a really smutty, detailed like fan fiction in your class. That was me. Like, except I didn't write
That
smut.
was me.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
I was.
But I used to write and do poetry and a bunch of stuff, and I would see people, wearing costumes, and I'm like, oh man, I would love to do that. And I think in like some way, it was the beginning even then. Like I'm like, oh man, I want to create that kind of stuff because I've just always want to create. I was like literally talking to them before we went live about like I had some scheme about animal ears. I'm always thinking of some wild stuff. But my first costume was Sylveon, and like I told the story on like the cosplay 101 where I
I did
like
Sylveon too.
I love
Twinsies.
Sylveon. So I like got this like skater dress and did the whole nines like the tutu, the ballet tights and everything, and that was like my first experience. And then going there and people were like, "Oh man, I want to take your picture. You're so cute." Which, like I said, like when I told this story, it was like it was wild to me because I have a lot of self-esteem like body image issues and so at the time that I was like, oh yeah, I'm like spilling my own like tea in this podcast, but at the time I was at like my heaviest, so it was like I felt super self-conscious because this dress was like hugging all the curves and the bumps and there like the belly and the boobs, and it was just it was surreal to me because people felt like I was cute enough or whatever enough to be like, yo, I'm taking pictures with you. And then it just kind of I tapered off for a year, and then I was obsessed with Overwatch, and Mercy was my main. Uh, Mercy was everybody's main. Don't lie. And so I got obsessed with her, and I wanted to do like Devil Mercy. And one of my friends was like, "Yo, dog, like I have a friend who does all this technological stuff, like does this crazy prop work, and I can hook you up with him, and we're gonna help you build some wings." And I built like Devil Mercy. She was like my first maid, and I went to MomoCon. It was like MomoCon 2017, and it was just super cool. I don't. I tell you, I gotta post some throwback pictures because I have throwback pictures of that where you can just see Babby's first cosplay. But
Did you wear Pink Mercy to MomoCon 2017?
no, it was Devil.
Oh, Devil
20,
Mercy.
yeah, I was Devil Mercy, and then I was Pink Mercy
I think
last
we
year.
have photos together actually.
Were you in the group? Like, were you in the
I
group
was.
photo shoot?
I wouldn't. So no, I think that you were stopped with me in the hallway.
I gotta go look
What?
at
There's
my
something
old
funny.
pictures. Cause I said this. Okay, so y'all joke, but I said this. I was like, cause Babu had talked about going to like MomoCon, and I was like, maybe we met. And I kept joking about it, cause she's like, yeah, I'm known for being Mercy, and I was like, I, I feel like we've met before. And then the funniest thing is because she knows my friend, or you've met my friend, Neverending Dreams, which is the Lucio cosplayer. So we may have met actually before. Because, like, a few years
More than
ago,
likely.
we would go to cons together. Me and Monty would go to cons together. So we might have met before and just not known it. And that's like that spooky, like, ooh, cosmic fate thing. Like, don't. Yeah,
Interesting.
misconnections. And, so, when I made that, it kind of bore in this love of costuming because I just love creating stuff. Anybody who talks to me, I will talk to you nonstop about creating stuff. Like that's me. Um, like I love creating stuff. It helps me get through stuff because I do have bipolar disorder. So how I deal with it and how I deal with the bad days and the depression is I make stuff, which is kind of hard because COVID's like threw a wrench in all of that. And so I haven't been quite right this year, but who has? So, with all the cons gone. But
Yeah.
yeah, my sob story is that I create because, I don't like being depressed all the time. Yay.
That's fair. Cosplay is a really good emotional outlet. I don't think people really talk about it much, but even people who have a lot of followers, like bigger name people, I should say, they will use it as an emotional outlet for whatever thing they just not decide to, but would decide to in a when they decide it's their time to tell, or if they feel like they want to even tell, because no one should have to disclose their disability online. But whenever they disclose that they have one online, they tend to have used cosplay as a means of directing whatever it
It's
is they
kind
were
of like
feeling.
a shield and like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did this costume and it really helped me out with such and such and such. And um I noticed that a lot of people do that, and it's for a lot of people like cosplay, it does help. Well, when we're not crunching or doing other self-destructive shit, like it really does help us express ourselves creatively. Um
Cosplay is just overall a really good stress reliever because I know for me, like when I can't focus, especially as someone who is a pharmacy school student, like if I can't concentrate, I'll just say fuck it and I'll just like do like a spontaneous cost test and that will instantly make me feel better. So yeah.
So we're gonna get to the elephant in the room because we mentioned cons, and yeah. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm super sad because I'm pouring one out for FF FanFest, which was supposed to be my first FanFest this year in San Diego. I was so excited, you guys. I'm so mad. Like, I was gonna go as Fable. Like I was already doing the logistics of trying to ship these wings across the United States, and it would have been my first fan fest ever. And then next year's Katsu would have been my first Katsu because I've never actually been, like, never ever. Um, but yeah, as you know, Katsu was canceled. What was it, like a week ago? They announced
Yeah,
that
they
it was
dropped it.
officially.
My first katsu is my con nightmare story. I've
Oh
only
yeah,
been
we
one.
got an episode on the con nightmares too, guys. uh, um, but what was it? Magfest was canceled first, I think, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then Katsu announced that they were canceling, mostly because we already know that like the T virus would have like evolved from an actual convention because some people don't wash. So, like, wash your hands. And so it's always germy. And I am one of those people that always gets sick after a con. Like, I try and fight
Concord.
it, but just can't hide it.
Can you imagine being at a con during the middle of a pandemic where people already get con crud just from con crud?
I mean, we've had a couple cons go on, but we've had a
Mhm.
couple of cons actually happen. And everybody
Been
has
pretty
voiced their
low turnout,
displeasure.
thankfully.
Um, But I think like for those cons, depending on how they were run, some of them probably couldn't cancel because depending on what the governor ordinance or the mayor ordinance is. I know like it came up to that. I know people were sweating last year about MomoCon and DragonCon especially because it was a will they or won't they, you know? Like is will they will we have it? Will we not have it? Like
My understanding from the people that I know that work behind the scenes at DragonCon and MomoCon is that it's not really the convention itself not wanting to, but it's just waiting for their contracts to let them.
Yeah, in that case, it was a lot of money tied up in there, and like people were getting mad. It was so weird because people were getting super mad, right? They're like, "Oh man, you guys are still gonna go through with it," and it's like, yo, they had probably put up hundreds and thousands of dollars because you have to secure all these guests, you have to secure the building, because this was MomoCon's first year.
Yeah, it comes down to money and contracts.
Yeah, it was like MomoCon's first year being in Building B. So like we were gonna like have a built or like it was like the bigger part of the World Congress Center, and so I am sad because Katsu 2021 was supposed to be my first one. Like I live further away from Maryland now, so but I've never been. It's like one of my goals. I'm also working up the courage to do Dragon Con, but I am very I'm not saying people phobic, but
if you're claustrophobic in any way, you do not want to go to Dragon Con.
Yeah,
I went for about 10 years.
Yeah, that's what they told me was like, because it's like 4 hotels big and it's always packed, and
it's not like just 4 hotels big, 4 hotels large anymore. Now? Like it's 4 main hotels plus they have the Amerismart buildings, I think they're called. Yeah, it's a super party con. It's the only con you can go to and see people run around in the mankini from Borat and characters.
Because they have different laws outside, so like people be really half naked. Like I remember one time, this was years ago. So my like cosplayed as Daenerys, after she got burnt. And it was just like the yeah, I was like, yo, what? Like you're out there doing what now?
I had a friend that went Dragon Con as the god, what was the name of the restaurant? But it's from Archer when he's on the roller skates and he's blonde on the roller skates in the rest. Hold on, let me look it up because my brain's not working.
I don't know, I haven't watched Archer in a long time. I really should catch up. Like, I think I stopped after they, like, became drug lords or something like that. And it's probably, like, 4 seasons ago. So, don't. Somebody out there side-eyeing me like, Liz, seriously, do you even watch TV?
Yeah, with the program list.
Never. So... Somebody said Anime Dallas is still happening? Like, they didn't cancel yet?
The Got Dick Boy. That's what it is. Got Dick. It's like the Got Milk slogan, but Got Dick. And he's wearing the short shorts and the crop top. Like, and actually roller skating through the con. That was not the first time that they had roller skated through the con, nor will it be the last time that they have a roller skate through a hotel. I thought they don't
let roller skates in, like...
Dragon Con does not have any rules.
Yeah, I figured. So someone was saying Anime Dallas is still happening. I kind of like put my bets on Holiday Matsuri, but now I think they're, Florida. I don't know.
No, there's no way. There's no way there are any cons through the end of the year, and they're. Oh, no. I'm going to be honest. There's no way that they have any cons next year. I think people are trying to be hopeful and trying to keep the brands going and trying to keep money flowing. And I really believe that's the only.
Is the later your con is next year, the better you will be. I think like, so what we're probably going to get is any con that's probably in November or December of next year is probably going to be our safe spot, I think.
And even then, there's probably going to be individuals that have to sit it out because it just depends on how they roll how they're able to roll the vaccines out.
Yeah, so like it's all we are hoping, guys. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I got the what is it? I got the con crack itch. Like I'm like yeah, cons. What about it? But I just want everybody to be safe right now. It's
I
very
rather, yeah.
scary, especially in my family, because I'm the one who's like the unhealthy person that could like keel over and die from COVID. But like, I just, man, as much as I wish, and I think like we're now getting the advent of some cons too, like the digital cons, which I know it's not the same, but it's what we got.
It's something.
It's
It's
something.
And there
something.
are some good things about the digital conventions. It does give more people the opportunity to participate than conventions themselves have, and they can, as much as I think it's just terrible to charge for single panel access, but putting a limit on paneling and putting it behind a paywall so
Yeah.
you can like watch the streams, especially the ones that are actually put on by the convention itself.
I think they're gonna have to like.
It'd be
I
nice
think
if
at this
they.
point, if they say like all the proceeds keep to go to keeping the con running, I think a lot of people would be very amenable to that. Like for instance, like I wouldn't want to lose like MomoCon, so it's like I would be willing to give money to like MomoCon, right? Because I don't want to lose that. This is like my
Oh,
fourth year
I meant
running.
alongside when they
Oh,
open up. Along with, I just don't think that when they're open and you can actually physically attend a convention,
oh yeah,
that they should be
yeah.
charging for access to panels that they're not even paying panelists for anyways. But if they want to charge for their content that they would be charging people for, like the actual con goers for, there's no problem with that. But until then, no, I 100% think that it's okay for them to be charging digital passes because there's no other option.
I noticed a lot of them haven't, and it's like, because I think we're all keeping the hope and keeping the faith. Like I said, they've been talking more and more about vaccines. This is where we get into real life and not cosplay. But
Yeah.
they have definitely been talking more and more about the vaccines and everything. The main thing I think that they were talking about is like, because they have to ship it out at a certain temperature and stuff like that, rolling out in waves, and then I think they have to figure out what's like going to be the best way to distribute it, like so while we are going to get a vaccine, it's definitely out there. It's not like it's not a hoax or anything. It's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how long, because I think some people were saying it's going to be at least like a couple of years, um and then we don't really know if it's going to like eradicate COVID, or it's going to be something
I don't
where
think
we
it's
have
gonna
to
take away
get a
COVID
shot
for
every year.
sure. Because the way that vaccines work is that over time they kind of see like what kind of side effects, like what certain populations are going to like possibly get as reverse effects from it and things like that, and they probably have to like improve it like every so often, and so that's going to take some time, especially if like we want to quote unquote like reduce the virus and things like
I just
that.
don't
So
think it's going. I think it's here. Like the flu.
mm-hmm.
Like I think it's here to stay.
Yeah.
Like hey, how are you doing? We're an unwelcome guest now. Like I think it's going to be kind of a part of life, even though we don't really want to hear that. I think it's definitely going to be a part of our life. Like we just go and get a shot every year, and
Yeah.
um, it's gonna be interesting. Honestly, I don't even know how I'm gonna be. I don't know how I'm gonna act. Like when we finally get to do in person, it's gonna feel so weird because we don't want to touch each other. Like we're
We're
not
gonna
gonna
see
want to
so
like
many weird
be anywhere near
regulations.
each other. It's like how are we gonna take pictures? Like people, it's gonna be weird. It's like we're gonna try to take pictures. Like I don't even think we're gonna try to take pictures
That's
6 feet
why I kind of felt
apart.
iffy about attending cons even like next year, because I'm like I won't be able to even hug anyone. I'm gonna be wearing a mask. I'm probably gonna be like be looking at like Babu and Liz and be like,
Hi, don't come. Hi.
"Actually, but hi, 6 feet
Okay,
apart."
but how cute are the coordinated masks going to be?
Look, all right, because I'm telling you, like, if I have to coordinate masks with the cosplay, they're gonna be fantastic.
Ooh,
All right,
yeah.
like coordination, you know.
I have a
Um,
series that I'm doing that's it's going to be magical girls living during COVID, and one of the ones that I wanted to do was um Neptune in a mask with her symbol on it. But the idea that came from was me wanting to do a series of characters dressed up with masks on and coordinate the mask to the costume. So for Maple, I was going to use the same fabric I made her dress for the mask, or for Harley Quinn, do the split out of sequins, because she would have a sequin fucking mask. It would be the 2 layers of cotton that you needed, and then sequins over it, just like extra hand sewed on there.
So, we have about 10, 11 minutes left.
Time went by really fast.
Yeah, and
well, I mean, about 5-10 minutes of that was just trying to figure. Yeah, I am like, I am so bad.
My sob story.
We'll get a handle of this. And it won't be as much
we're definitely, yeah, like we will be ready to like start. This is kind of a learning process. Please
this is why this is an intro episode. Like, this is why we're just introducing.
Because I'm gonna get the captions right, guys. I'm gonna get it right. So we have like 10 minutes left. So we
can talk about our miscellaneous topics. I made an outline for us, and I like to think that it's beautiful. I don't know if you guys like it, but I'm very proud of it.
Yes.
So yeah, we can talk about. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the photographer thing, but I want to say just treat your photographers right, because that's something that's been going on the past couple of days.
All right, I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna get it out here. I'm gonna say this. I am loving like this aesthetic. This doesn't have to do with the photographer, but I am loving this aesthetic with like the rappers doing cosplay shit right now. Like, I am loving it. And see, we're gonna talk about this in the gatekeeping episode, because somebody like came out with their whole chest and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna name it." Like, they were like, "Oh, Meg Thee Stallion is just posing, like she doesn't actually watch anime. Like, y'all are just thirsting over her because she's like dressing up and she's not really about the thing." And I hate it. Like, I hate it, because you can't just dress up and enjoy. Like, whether or not she's into Mortal Kombat or whatever.
Let her enjoy what she wants. Like, geez. Like she's just everyone else enjoying nerd culture. Just don't fetishize it.
It's like what is up with that? Or, like, her Milano is really good. Like, I was just like, damn, who sewed that for her? Because I see them seams. Like, they're perfect. Who did that? Who? So it's like, oh, hey, Mercy. So
yeah,
it's
she's
like,
just wanting love. She's like, hello, you are here. Now give me all the love.
So it's like, I'm really enjoying it. And like, Lil Nas made everybody upset. Like, first he made people upset because he dressed up as Nicki Minaj on Halloween. And I wanted to talk about that, but then Halloween was like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, like, he made people upset.
Now they're upset. Now they're
upset because he's tonguing himself down in a picture that was actually kind of hot. So like, they were so mad.
If he's tonguing himself, Mom.
Well, here was the thing. It's a pun on self-love, because he's tonguing himself down, his self-love. All right, guys, like, what? And they're like, this is satanic. And I'm like, what? I don't see Satan in here. What? Where's Satan at?
Where? Who's?
Where's Satan at? Where is he? Where you at?
Not here.
But no, if you haven't seen that one, you could probably find it. But it made me just, it did not, I'm just tripping over my words, but it made me like kind of upset, because of course, whenever a black male does something remotely feminine, all the people come out and be like, oh, he's soft. And yeah, I will talk about that. Oh yes, we will be talking about that.
We'll be talking very extensively about that.
About the good, bad, and ugly, because the male cosplayers are not subjective.
Parts. We can probably have a whole series about it. Like, there's never like enough time to talk about that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's gonna be pretty lengthy, because I have a lot to talk about. I'm sure Pri has a lot to talk about, because you have the Asian standards of beauty, like all that.
Whitening soap. If you are Filipino, whitening soap. Dumbest thing to ever come out of our culture. Anyway.
And then, I'm a black cosplayer, so we got all of this. and then Babu represents the disabled community, and then we got all of that. So it's gonna be thick and deep and heavy, and we're gonna kind of like split it up because we kind of want to have one lighthearted episode and one heavy, so you guys aren't bummed out or whatever.
Now, what would an example be of a light episode, just to give them like
kind of so like we would probably
drama.
talk about not trauma.
I don't know about drama. Depends on what.
Sometimes
kind of drama.
But not anything involving people being like, well, I guess that's not, in this case, it's not drama, but sometimes it does involve some petty shit going on that we all love, but
I got like a lot of petty
stuff that
shit.
has nothing to do with like Vera Bambi's bullshit.
Oh, that's a sore one. Look, she getting upset because I was there for that. I was there for that. Yeah, we definitely but yeah, we would definitely want to talk about that because there's a whole lot to unpack. Like the whole thing with Little Nas, there's a lot to unpack, like that I grew up with too. That is crazy.
I guess a light episode would be if we touch on those heavier topics during the episode towards the end, because I know we have one planned with a guest cosplayer that's just about getting into the cosplay community.
Yeah, so our cos community, we have like the intro, not like an intro to cosplay community, but like, hey, I want to dress up, and then I suddenly got into the cos community, and what the hell, why were they talking about looting minors and getting upset about it, and then preaching about it, saying that you shouldn't loot minors, except they looted minors like 6 or 7 times and then deleted. Anyways, it was really specific, wasn't it? So, like just the issues that you would face like coming into the cosplay community, the good, the bad, like the bad and the ugly is definitely like it's a whole series, but talking about makeup tips and talking about like I do foam, so maybe we'll have like a whole section where we talk about like the coolest things that we've seen, and I'm not sure how it's gonna work because I'm doing it through Spotify. So like if I talk about like how you do with foam, I'm not sure how that's gonna translate. But we definitely have like some lighter topics,
things you guys can learn.
Things that you can learn, because I kind of want to do like episode where we talk about the cool thing, and I'm about to shill because I saw the coolest thing today. Are you ready for this like shill? Because we got 4 minutes left and I'm shilling. So.
Let's do it.
So, like, okay, what was it called? Because I can't, like, I made a post on it. So now I have to go spend time looking for it, right? Because I do too much. I did a retweet of it. So, Alley Cat did a video for this product. It's called the Cosband. And it's an elastic headband, and it has magnets in it. And it's supposed to be for, like, the animal ears. So you can just pop the ears on and like you can shake your head and do all kinds of stuff. Like, so everybody's kind of starting to see it. You can shake your head and do all kinds of stuff. It's not supposed to move. And I think that is the coolest fucking thing ever. So I'm shilling now. You're welcome. Go get you. Like, I retweeted it.
Like a girl or like a Vera or a Mikote. Like,
oh, you want a Mikote? Turtle Smithy does Viera ears, Aura horns. I think they're working on the Aura tails, so they don't have them up yet, but they definitely do like the scale and like the horns and the ears. So like I'm chilling right now because I like literally convinced my boyfriend to buy it for me. I was like, babe, can I try this out? And so I will be ordering a pair. They are also the creators that make the movable tail, guys. I know you've probably seen it on like Facebook a long time ago, where like they had the like robot tail. Well, so cool. Those are the same people, and apparently, I guess they started like sort of mass producing, because I imagine they have to like craft individually each tail or whatever. So they sold that too, and I thought it was going to be like a stupid high price tag, but see, then again, $250 is a stupid high price tag for some people, but it's way more than I thought it was going to be, because for a movable tail that like pauses and is programmable, I was thinking like 800, 900 bucks. So, yo, get your cosplayer a Christmas gift of those things, because you never know when you're gonna need a magnetic headband. And I'm assuming you can get the magnets out of the ears because you can use it. I'm assuming you can, or you can use any kind of magnet of that particular strength.
They're probably gonna have a version where you can get it without the ears. Does
I
it come
wonder
with
if
the
they're
ears
gonna have
on
that
it?
Yeah, it
does
comes with
come
the ear.
with the ears, like the ear attachment. So
Like it comes
They've
with
got
the
to
ear
have a
attachment
version without
separate
the
in the
ear
package.
attachment.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that, because even if you don't want the ears, like that's gonna be a game changer. Like watch, you're gonna have, like, I swear, you're gonna probably have the ears that work with Cosbon ear thing attachment, like capable, you know. Um so yeah. I guess I don't know how to end things, because now we must end. We must bid you farewell. So
It is now
I don't know how to end
8
things.
p.m.
So for the end, what we can do is discuss what the next episode was
Oh
going to
yeah,
be.
what did we have? Because if I click, y'all don't hear it. I swear.
Hold on, I gotta go to the drive. I had that closed.
Let me check real quick.
I know that I just did the schedule, but I did a lot of things.
Oh yeah. So did we want to talk about, like, since we were in the last like 2 minutes or so of this? Do we want to talk about when they should expect the next episode? I do know that Thanksgiving is next week. Most of y'all aren't going anywhere. Let's be real. We're probably not. I know for one that I'm baking a turkey for like the first time ever next week. So pray for my family. So, just pray for them. Keep them in your thoughts.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. But one
It's
prayer,
better
one
to
like.
get undercooked. Just remember that.
One like, one prayer. All right.
I have that. So I just put that next week would be an episode that we would have on, because no one's going anywhere. If you're doing Black Friday shopping, you shouldn't be doing Black Friday shopping.
Yeah,
I mean,
period.
you should be doing.
You should be here instead.
You should be doing from home. Just have us in one tab, and then have us on the second screen. If you have two monitors, just have us.
So I would. Yeah, just
tab.
2 tabs. 2 screens.
So what I have here is that episode 2 is dealing with disappointments and jealousy during your cosplay career, which is a heavy hitter. Not as heavy as the
everyone
other episodes, but
in very different ways.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to talk about that for the full hour, so I'll flesh it out some and come up with some other things to add it out.
So it might be, so I think we kind of have to figure it out, because it may not always be an hour. We might just be like 30 minutes. It just kind of depends on like the topic too, and what we can pad out. But definitely, unless we change it. But I think that's the one that we agreed on, because the next one is getting into cosplay in the community, but that is subject to change, because we also have virtual cons in the future of accessibility too. So I did want to do one before we go.
Ash is actually in the comments, or in the stream chat.
So Ash is the guest host on
the virtual cons.
And then we have Mr. AJ whenever we decide to do the getting into cosplay in the community for a fresh male perspective, because we are all, of the female persuasion. But the male cosplayers, for me, they're kind of a rare breed. Like, we see them, but like, I'm curious about what they go through.
What's going through their minds? Like, what?
Yeah, I'm curious about what they go through, because marketing for male cosplayers, I think, is a lot different than female cosplayers. So bringing the male perspective on how males can get into the cosplay community and how to handle it, because I don't know if they feel the same pressure like we, that girls do to, I feel like there's a certain pressure when you come into cosplay as a girl. It's like, do I do OnlyFans, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with it. I think there's just like a lot of a pressure to like, well, if you want to succeed, what do you want to do? But I want to hear that from like the male perspective, because female cosplay is generally a female dominated like hobby. So
I actually do have him confirmed for the 4th, so if you want to change next week's topic, we can do that. But he is joining us on the 4th.
Okay, so we are doing an episode next week.
Yes, we are doing
Okay.
Yeah, we can do an episode next week, but I do have Mr. AJ Cosplay confirmed for the 4th for entering the cosplay community.
All right, and I do want to check with you, because I did want to do the Christmas gifts you give your favorite cosplayer episode. I do want to do that. It's probably not going to be as long, because talk about it for a little bit, and then we might just like make it a half segment or something. But because I know you're doing finals, so.
Ooh, what week is that gonna be if we do that?
We can figure that out.
Yeah.
In chat.
So but we're gonna say goodbye. Thanks you
for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for sitting with us.
I appreciate you guys so much for coming out, because we literally were like, if it's just gonna be the 3 of us, then I guess we're just gonna talk. I guess we're just gonna talk to each other, and it was gonna be okay. But we had like several people, so I'm happy. I am going to try my best to export it. I am recording at the same time, so I'm going to try to push this out to YouTube, and then I gotta do some stuff, like I gotta do some editing for YouTube, to cut out like because I did start recording before we started streaming, and I'm going to try to isolate the audio channel so you can listen to us on Spotify or Anchor if you so choose, whatever your poison is. So, and we're going to get the caption thing set next week. So I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night. Eat sushi or whatever that you're going to eat tonight. Drink some wine. Kick back. Relax.
Wine. Things like that. So.
Alrighty.
Peace, friends.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace, everybody.